Welcome to Crown and Connections with Rob Clemons. It is February 18th, actually the first day of the home show in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, here at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. We're not at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center yet, but we will be here all weekend, so we definitely love to have everybody stop by. So I thought, what better opportunity than today to talk a little bit about some solar power. You know, I've been in this business for a little while, been in the roofing industry and then in the solar industry, and we always get this question. People want to know more about solar power. How can I get independent from buying my power from the power companies? How can I, kind of protect myself from rising prices of electric? And so today I have a couple of experts with me. Really excited to have you guys here. Nathan Fink and Whitney Torres from GAF Energy. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks, Rob.
Thanks for having us.
All right, awesome. Well, so I got two experts here, so I'm going to throw you guys all kinds of questions today.
All right.
I'm going to try to stump you on a couple of questions. I'm just kidding. No, if you guys would, give me a little idea about your background and how you got into the solar industry. Nathan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I got into the solar industry about, 5-6 years ago. Moved to Arizona, didn't know anybody out there, didn't know anything about sales, didn't know anything about solar. Kind of wanted to give myself a big challenge and went out there and did it. Got into solar because really just love the environment, hunting, fishing, hiking, camping. So figured it was a good way to get into sales.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. What about you, Whitney?
It was very intentional. I had a career that had nothing to do with renewable energy, and I knew I wanted to do something more aligned with my passion. Like Nate, I love the outdoors, hiking, camping, kayaking, mountain biking, and I love animals, and I just wanted to do something where I felt like I could make an impact and also make a good living. Mm-hmm. And so I started just asking everybody. I did a lot of networking. I went to a lot of volunteer events and just started finding out what was making a big difference and where could I, fit in. And I met some folks in the solar industry, and that's kind of how I got started. It was about 10 years ago now.
Really? Okay. And what company was that with?
My first company was a local solar company in Austin, Texas, and I was with them for about a year. And then I went to a global company that was a manufacturer, and I was there for 8 years. And now I've been with GAF Energy, and I made that switch because of the product and the innovation and really just a lot of the growth, and we'll probably get into it, but just revolutionizing where I thought we could really get more energy from more roofs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one thing about GAF, the roofing manufacturer, is how most people think of GAF, but you guys being with GAF Energy, there's been such an investment by GAF into the solar business. And I think one thing I always appreciated about GAF as a company is they've always been everything on your roof. That's where the focus is. And I think they looked at this a few years ago and said, or more than a few, I'm sure, but they said, look, how do we make a better solar panel, a more attractive solar panel, one that produces more efficiently? So we will get into that a little bit more later, but let's talk a little bit about where's the solar industry at right now. I think a lot of people, the younger generations, they're almost looking to do the more noble causes, to do something right for the environment. I think people are embracing it more. Tell me about jobs in the solar industry. I mean, you're both in this profession. If you heard somebody that was listening today, what would you tell them about working in the solar industry? What attracted you to this?
Yeah, no, for me, it was, kind of that growth in the solar industry, right? It's just something that's just getting bigger and bigger every year, and something that, you can feel good about doing at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're able to go out and you're not making normal fossil fuels and things, or using those that are, kind of degrading the environment or whatever. So I got you on that. And what about you?
For people who are looking to get in, I would say the thing I would want people to know is something that a lot of people don't, is you don't have to know about solar to get into the solar industry. Mm-hmm. The solar industry, companies need people in finance, they need marketing, they need business professionals, they need lawyers and accountants and all kinds of support staff. So you don't have to be selling solar and know about how it works to get into the solar industry. That's stuff you can pick up. And I think that's, really important for people, especially college students or anybody looking for a career path.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I do think that's always an impediment. People feel like I shouldn't even apply, mm-hmm. but this is a growing industry that mm-hmm. is always going to be needing more and more people. Let's go over some of the misconceptions you guys hear in the solar industry. I know I've heard them quite a bit, but these are just things that people think about solar that you now know about the solar industry now being, professionals in the business, what are some of the biggest misconceptions?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's too expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you typically, people think the biggest downside of solar is it's going to be crazy expensive, but you look at it the last few years, it has really come down, and it's affordable for anybody who's already paying an electric bill.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Right. Yeah, I would second that. Also, that it's unattractive. Solar has come a really long way. There's been a lot of innovations, and it can look really integrated into the roof now. And so I think that's something that's definitely a misconception: the cost, the attractiveness, and the accessibility.
Yeah, you're right. If you go back to the old solar panels, maybe like 1985 or something, big metal looking things and the blue. Now everything's, black on black. And this product that you guys have is really sleek. And we're going to talk about the GAF Timberline Solar in a minute here. But one of the misconceptions I've heard a lot is, I want to get off the grid, right? I mean, this is one that a lot of people talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay an energy bill anymore, so how can I do that with solar? What do you think when I say that? I mean, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I want to get off the grid, I'm going to go solar, what's your first kind of way of talking to people through that?
Oh yeah, a lot of people say that. We hear that a lot. And the first thing I do is ask questions. Like, what do you know about it? What's important to you? Why are you thinking about that? And those possibilities do exist. There are new technologies. It's still kind of a nascent industry. But for somebody that has that as something that's really, really important to them, it's possible. But once you start asking questions, a lot of times people realize that might not be the solution for them right now, maybe down the road.
Okay, I got you. So you're really talking about, how do I produce enough power to replace the power I'm using, but you also need a battery, right? That's going to be a part of this. If you wanted to try to get not off the grid, but even just get to a point where you're not buying that much power, a battery would be needed, right?
If you fall into that small percentage of people who think it's economically viable, then yes, you would need a battery. But otherwise, solar, you don't need a battery to have solar. You can be grid connected. The grid can be your battery, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and this is something that we talk about a lot. It's like, why are you doing the solar in the first place? Are you doing it to try to not pay an energy bill and you don't really worry about the cost of the battery? But there's also the thing about battery backup for, if you have a hurricane. We're in a wind zone here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So if you want to use your solar when the grid goes down, battery would be your only option, right?
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha. And it's just one of those things, and we'll get back to that some other time. So as far as the GAF Solar, let's talk about this Timberline Solar product. How did this come up? What was the inspiration for this product?
Well, first and foremost, GAF is a roofing company and has been around for over 100 years. And so there has been a market convergence where a lot of roofers are offering solar, and a lot of solar companies are offering roofs. And GAF has a beautiful roof product and this fantastic warranty. And what is happening is a lot of homeowners were getting this beautiful brand new roof and then having a secondary contractor come in, or even the same, and it voids the roof warranty they got with GAF. So GAF has a sister company now, GAF Energy, and the whole thought process behind this product was to have something that is a complement to this beautiful roof that protects your home. Because what is a roof supposed to do?
Protect your home.
Protect your home, keep out water. That's the number one thing your roof is supposed to do. So now we have a roof integrated, it's a nailable solar shingle. It's Timberline Solar, as you mentioned. And the whole idea is keeping the warranty and the venerability of this company behind the warranty along with this beautiful product, and making it accessible to everybody. So, energy from every roof.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So when they did this, so they went out and they've hired some of the best in the industry, as I understand it. They've gone out and they went out and hired top talent that engineered this. And I can say that, just talking, I've been vetting you guys up a little bit as we've been talking. I've been in the solar business myself for a little bit. And, some of the support that I've been seeing from the top down, it's just like everything was covered with these, making it watertight, check, making a very efficient product, check, making sure that it was holding up to storms, check. They told me yesterday they were talking about how, you can take these steel balls and shoot them into the panels and they still won't break. I mean, how did you guys do that? That's crazy.
Right. Yeah. The testing that they've gone through has been tremendous. And first and foremost, this is a roofing product. So even if you never turned on the energy producing part of it, this protects your home like a roofing product.
That's right. So if you're really into solar and you really have higher ideals, you don't even need to hook it up. You can just have it as an expensive roof.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. But either way, no, it's really cool. You know, I do think there may be those people, and I'm shooting stuff that, you know, you guys, we haven't talked about, but so forgive me if I go off on a tangent. What if you had somebody who said, look, I'd love to do the solar. I can't quite afford right now to put the whole system in, but can we go ahead and put the shingles on the roof with the solar shingles and just not do all the electrical hookup yet, maybe save a little bit, but be prepped for the future?
No.
Well,
Oh man, come on.
Yeah, the pricing is such that it's affordable and it's a turnkey price. So it includes the electrical hookup. It's all, you know, one-stop shop. You're getting your roof and your energy shingles, and that includes the whole interconnection process. And we make it super easy for homeowners. We manage the whole thing in-house. We have Monarch Roofing, the best solar partner that, you know, roofing
in the world.
Trust.
I thought you were going to say in the world, and I got excited for a second. You know, like, maybe even the universe, you know, who knows, you know, yeah.
So it's all part of it.
No, it's really great, and I'm glad that you kind of have that mindset of let's do it right. You know, you don't need to set it up and 5 years from now do it. Go ahead and start saving the money today, and it'll pay for itself, right? Absolutely.
Exactly.
Where do you think the solar industry is going? I know, you know, right now you got this great new product. It's brand new. It's sleek. It was meant to kind of be an answer to the Tesla shingle, but viably, you know, attainable, and got GAF behind it. So you know it's going to be out there forever. But my question is, what do you think is the next steps in the solar industry? More efficient panels, or where do you see things going?
Well, I really think this is the next step in the solar industry. Instead of having the traditional approach, which is clunky and time consuming and is, you know, fraught with its own issues, this is something that is accessible, as I mentioned, serviceable, reliable, protects your home. It's a sound investment, and anywhere a shingle can go, you know, Timberline Solar can go. And so I think this really is the next step. And then, of course, additional, maybe in the future iterations, you know, more aesthetic variations, updates. But as far as installation, energy production, ROI, maybe I'm not imaginative enough, but I think this is where it's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think this product in particular, you know, addressed a lot of issues in solar. Like you talked about, you know, other companies coming back and, you know, installing on the roof. But this is going to be the same contractor of record with a warranty backed up by a company that's been around for over 100 years.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the things about GAF, you know, it's 100 years in the business, and you just think of anything. You know, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, and I've been in the building industry for years, but, you know, everybody can throw out, oh, my warranty's this, my warranty's that. But, you know, how long have you been in the business? You know, I had a company, a solar provider at one point come in, and they told me, you know, we're doing a 30-year performance guarantee on our panels. And I was like, wow, 30 years, that's really good. I was like, how long have you guys been in business? And they're like, oh, 2 years. I was like, whoa, no way. I was like, that feels good to know I got 30 years, you know? It's like,
I guess pretty confident.
Yeah, right. So, you know, when you think of GAF, that's really a powerful thing. Well, so Nathan, where are you from originally?
So I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, originally from Charlotte.
Correct.
You lived there your whole life?
Yeah, so one of the few that's actually born and raised in Charlotte. I know it's a pretty big transplant city, but yeah, born and raised there, and now living in Florida. So.
Oh, so you're living in Florida now?
Yeah, so I just moved with my girlfriend down to St. Petersburg in November.
Okay, I got you. And I hear maybe there's some development in that way in the future. You guys tying the knot of some sort.
You know, that's coming down the road.
Oh, okay, all right. Man, I'm putting him on the spot here. I was trying to see if this was going to be a celebration kind of thing, and an announcement from Nathan Fink. She's sitting there watching, like, oh, really? Yeah. No, but well, you know, Florida's a great place for that too. You know. What do you see in the energy rates in Florida? I'm just curious because in South Carolina we have certain rates, but
so in Florida, you know, they're pretty similar to the Carolinas, you know, but the big thing in Florida right now is, you know, the couple of the main utility companies down there, Duke, FP&L, and TECO, they're having massive rate increases.
Yeah.
So with those rate increases, it's just making it easier for those homeowners to go solar and really see those, long-term savings and the benefits of going solar.
Well, one of the things I have seen, and we know this about solar, it's like, because you do have these long-term guarantees, the performance guarantee of 25 years on the new panels. When I was in the home building industry, people used to come up to me and ask me about doing solar on their house, but the knock was always that, they were only gonna last for about 10 years, and then by the time you paid them off, now it's time to go get more panels. So now with these 25-year guarantees, it's really great. And the way I describe it is even with technology getting more, improving day to day, it's like more efficient panels coming out, that if you're knocking 50% off of your power bill today, you should be knocking 50% of your power bill off tomorrow. So even if your bills go up by 200% on the rates, that's only going to be the 50% of the rate that you're still paying for. You know what I mean? So you are protecting yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, really cool. What about you, Whitney? Where are you from originally?
I'm from all over.
All over? Okay,
Yeah,
wait, now, all over. That's impressive.
That's the short answer. The long answer is California, Utah. So Nate and I share a similar background, which is really interesting. We both grew up in the airline industry. So my parents were both airline pilots.
Okay.
And so I moved around a lot. So Utah and then Dallas for high school. And then I've been in Austin pretty much ever since, with a short stint in Houston.
Okay.
So Austin is the short answer, I guess, is most of my life in Austin,
That's
Texas.
what you're going to claim,
Yeah, and that's where I live now.
What's your favorite city you've been to?
In my life?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. I mean, Amsterdam was really cool.
Amsterdam, yeah.
Vancouver is amazing. Anywhere you can get out and get into nature, really. I'm not into cities as much as, hiking.
You guys both told me this. You're both into the nature.
Yeah.
You guys are the ultimate solar people. You're not going to use any electricity at all.
I love travel, though. I love going anywhere and just getting out and getting to know the local ecology and also people and their experiences there.
Yeah, got you. What's the most? All right, now I'm throwing you a couple of curveballs here. What's the most green thing you've ever done? And now when I say green thing, it can be anything. And you can throw it back on me if you would like. But what's have you ever done anything like, I went out and I planted 100 trees or something? I mean, because you're committed to the industry. I mean, is there anything you've done that you're like, yeah, I did this?
My husband and I compost at home, and we also volunteer. And so we've planted trees, saplings. We do trash pickup for different nonprofits in Austin. And
that's awesome. Yeah. No, I mean, I think, we committed to, when I first came to this company, one of the things we committed to early on was, yes, we want to recycle when we can, doing the beach sweeps, things like that. Get involved however you can, because we can each make a little difference one little bit at a time, right? So what about you?
So mine, definitely those beach sweeps, growing up, always coming down to the coast down here in the Carolinas and spending so much time down here, fishing really just got me interested in doing all that kind of cleanup and stuff for the beach to, protect the environment that I love to go spend time in.
Yeah. And what about that project you did with your buddy, with Noah?
Oh yeah, so my buddy, he was doing
leaving out something big on us here.
Not Noah, your buddy, Noah, the National Ocean.
So my buddy was studying marine biology in college, and so what he had to do, I guess it was one thing he wanted to do was, help tag sharks and stuff. So we spent, a summer, kind of catching sharks down on the coast and helping do the tags and stuff, and marking down and getting all the information on them.
Wow.
Nate has done so many cool things.
I was going to say, that's really cool. You're going to hold out. So you got a great white coming at you.
It wasn't a great white.
Tell me about, this guy's a man right here. I was like, wow, he's tagging sharks. Okay.
Yeah, so, it was like sand sharks. I think we caught a bull shark that summer. So just all different kinds of little sharks that you see down here around the coast, and, just getting to enjoy doing that. And,
Nate's also hiked the Appalachian Trail.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yep.
Appalachian.
Whatever.
Yeah, so I've done that from, parts down in Georgia all the way up to the parts up in the Carolinas, and kind of just stopped that, that little area, and got to go roam around with my dog and spend as much time as I could out there.
Now I've never been on the Appalachian Trail. Are there steep inclines? I mean, does this become a very physically enduring thing, or what's that like?
So yeah, it does. There are certain areas where you're going to have higher peaks. Mount Mitchell in North Carolina is the highest peak east of the Mississippi.
Okay.
So it's one of the highest on the entire East Coast. Wow. So, the Carolinas can get pretty steep, but it's beautiful up there. You have all the elevation changes. You got the creeks going through. You got some waterfalls, and it's fun to spend time out there.
Is that the kind of thing where you took your girlfriend, and you say, hey, let's go on a date, and you just go straight to the Appalachian Trail?
So I went with a buddy from college. We took our dogs and just spent as much time out in the woods as we could one summer.
So I've got a story here then. So one time my wife, some family, we went to the mountains. And she was like, oh, I love nature trails. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go do a nature trail, right? So we're looking through the guide, and it's like you got like a beginners, and then like an intermediate, and then like an advanced. And I'm like, well, of course we're gonna go advanced. I've never hiked in my life, right? But I'm like, and she's like, okay, I trust you. So like 7.5 miles in, we're going straight. I swear to God, I have never been cursed in this way by anybody who loves me. It was beautiful. So anyway, we literally, I knew we were on the downslope because she's kind of a little bit on the shyer side, and she was like, I think we need to go to somebody's house and ask them for a ride home. And I was like, no. I was like, we're not going to random people.
Send the helicopter.
So I'm actually going to be doing a kind of similar trip. My girlfriend's never really done a backpacking trip before, but talking to a couple buddies I have out in Arizona, we're looking to do a hike. It is going to be about 60 miles. We're going to go from Utah into Arizona through the Paria Canyon and Buckskin Gulch, get down to the Colorado River, and then we're going to float down the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon for a couple days.
Holy cow, man! That's awesome.
So we'll see if I'll be cursed like that later this summer.
Get ready.
It's going to be hot, and it's going to be long hikes each day.
No, that's cool, man. And GAF Energy is just like letting you go off and do all these fun things.
I'm going to take a week of PTO for that.
Okay, all right.
I
was like,
we got Whitney here. We'll be good.
We'll be talking solar the whole time. Gotcha. No, that's really cool. Well, it was great for me to have you guys on. I really appreciate some of the advice today with the solar. Do you have any one or two last things you'd like to tell us about, the solar, GAF, anything like that?
Well, I think one of the important things that we haven't really mentioned is the production guarantee. So with Timberline Solar, not only is it warranted for 25 years with the roof and the product and everything, but there's also a production guarantee. And that's really important to homeowners to know that they're not only getting something that turns on, but getting something that is going to, do what we say it's going to do, and that you have the support of GAF Energy behind you.
Okay, so this is one that I do want to talk about. I'm actually glad you mentioned it because the thing with the solar industry, as I've seen it, I've been in this for a little bit, is that there is a lot of misconception about the product, right? And there are a lot of people who believe they're getting off the grid. They believe they're going to knock off their whole energy bill, things like that. And then what we found is that then they're being sold stuff and just like being told things that either won't happen or don't happen. So what GAF did is they said, look, how do we solve all these problems? How do we get through everything? And this was a biggie. So what GAF has said, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they said, look, if you buy the solar panels, we're going to tell you what you're going to produce. We're going to give you some honest numbers. And then if you don't hit those numbers, unless something has happened, you've planted a giant tree right next to your solar panels or something, but unless something happens that you've done, they are going to guarantee that production and make it right one way or the other. I just thought that was amazing because there's, very few companies are even, have the guts to do it, but it's also the honesty. I mean, I could probably spend an hour here talking about things that are not right in the solar industry.
Oh, absolutely.
But the things that are right are honest contractors who got into this for the right reason. You want to give your customer the best product. You want to have them actually save some money. So I do love that. So they came in and they said, look, we're going to do a review. Now, how does that work? I mean, just a brief overview. They're going to come in every 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Check. And then what do they do if they see that you're not producing?
So then it'll be, handled over by our warranty department. It'll be on a case-by-case basis. So, say we need to replace some equipment to get everything running right. There's a lot of different ways we can go about it. Sure. As far as even, I believe it's a percentage,
Yeah, we'll just remediate,
Yeah.
make it right,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one way or the other, it will
Exactly.
be made right for the customer, which I think is really cool. At least a recognition of that you're saying it can do something that it's going to do.
Right. And Rob, I have to say something. We're all going to have to get used to saying shingles instead of solar panels.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's the past.
Exactly. Have I been saying solar panels this whole time? Oh my gosh.
You might have.
You've slipped a couple times.
Oh man, it's like the faux pas of all faux pas. Yeah. Hey, I've been saying solar panels for like 5 years now. Yeah, you're right.
It's a hard,
It's
Solar
hard.
shingles.
It's hard for me too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been in solar for a while myself.
Well,
Yeah.
well they really do install and basically look like shingles, so it is true. But they're little collectors at the end of the day. You still are
Right.
collecting with solar
Yeah.
cells.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
within
still
that,
PV
yeah.
technology,
Yeah,
exactly.
converting the sun into electricity.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as it goes, if there was a something that you were going to do, like for your house, if you're looking at, you had a family member looking at doing it, what would you say is the one thing that you would recommend to them as far as like lifestyle? You know, so you're looking at buying these panels, you know, what would you recommend? I mean, what are some of the things that you need to do to decide that solar is right for you?
Yeah, so really just take an honest look at what you're using your energy for. Figuring out if you plan on adding large appliances that'll alter your energy usage, and then at that point kind of figuring where you're going to be going, and then getting a proposal and seeing exactly how much production the system can make for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and energy efficiency always goes hand in hand with solar. Anything you can do to actually reduce your consumption is the perfect complement to producing your own electricity on site.
Yeah, that's right. HVAC units use up about 50% of your power bill usually. So it's like if you can get a more efficient HVAC, there's other things like geothermal technologies for your HVACs. Energy Star appliances, those go a long way. So these are the places you're using most of your energy in a house, right?
Yep.
Talking about hot water heaters. Are you seeing much, has GAF really looked at, is that part of your analysis for customers? Do you look at that at all, or is that kind of phase 2?
So the first thing we'll look at a customer's past year of electric usage, and that'll give us a really good baseline. And then from there, we can ask the questions, what are you going to be doing to change your electricity? Are you going to be, adding a pool, adding a hot tub, getting a more efficient AC unit? Are you going to be getting a gasless water heater, an electric water heater? And really figuring that out and really kind of diving in and getting specific with it.
That makes sense to me. Well, I love the product. I love the service behind the product, which is always a key. GAF Energy, it definitely, I believe, is the way of the future. People are interested in seeing this. We will have the home show the 18th, 19th, and 20th. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So starting today at the home show. Definitely love to have people come by. We'll show them some information about the product. Nathan, Whitney, it's been great having you guys on today. I appreciate all the information.
Yep.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much,
Thanks
Rob.
for having us.
All right. And appreciate everybody for listening. Make sure to like and share us, and we will see you guys next time. This is Rob Clemons signing out with Crowning Connections.